is BR for mist, right? Mist is really fine rain, so I think of it as baby rain. So BR is baby rain. All right, we got a few more here. We're going to go through these, and then I'm going to show you a few places where you can actually get some METARs. All right, the first one here is METAR for Ponca City, Oklahoma. It's on the 4th day at 1753 Zulu. Winds are 320 at 14 knots, 10 statute miles, clear. Temperature is 21, dew point is 07, and the altimeter is 3003. Here again, its remarks. It's an automated source type 2, which means it has a precipitation discriminator. Second one here is METAR for KRCR. That's Rochester, Indiana, just south of the home of hogs at Plymouth. And it's on the 5th day at 1913 Zulu. It's an automated source again. Winds are 160 at 9 knots, gusting to 16 knots. 1¼ statute miles with rain and mist. Broken at 800 feet, broken at 1400 feet, overcast at 2100 feet. Here again, temperature is 21, dew point is 20, and the altimeter is 2991. Remarks here again, it's an automated source type 2. Third one we got is a METAR for Warsaw, Indiana, just to the west of the home of hogs. And you've got on the 4th day at 1956 Zulu, automated. The winds are 310 at 16, gusting to 30 knots, 10 statute miles, few at 1400 feet, overcast at 2100 feet. Temperature is 12, dew point is 09, and the altimeter is 2936. Remarks on this one, it's an automated source type 2 again. And this time they've got a few more notes in it for us. So we got a peak wind was at from 300 at 30 knots at 1951 Zulu. All right, so just right before this report came out. Then it talks about thunderstorms, TS, ended at 05 past the hour, and then rain ended at 18 past the hour. All right, one of the other sources of weather I like to look at is what good website, aviationweather.gov. All right, so this picture right here is from aviationweather.gov. I'll zoom back in. And what I like about this one is that you can bring up this little section here, and basically you just take your little cursor and you just run it over the top of whatever airport you're looking at, and it's going to pop up the METAR. All right, and they'll do it either in the uncoded format right here, like you see, or I'll actually decode it for you too. So if it has something in it that you're not sure what it's saying, you can decode it and actually look and see what it is. Some of the cool things I like about this is right off the bat I can kind of look at it. If it's green, I know it's VFR. If I see blues, which I don't see them on this one, on the next slide I'm going to show you, it's got a bunch of blues and reds, so we'll see these. But these greens are showing you that it's VFR, so I can kind of see that right away. It also gives you your wind. So I know in this case here over at Rensselaer, Indiana, the winds are out of the northeast at 5 knots. That little half barb there is 5 knots. I don't see any full barbs, so it looks like all the winds around here are pretty calm. All right, about 5 knots. Now here you go. Up here at Midway, you can see this guy up here. He's got the full barb, that's 10 knots. So Midway's got 10 knots out of the east up here. All right, on this one here, since we've got the hurricane going on down in Florida, I figured this was an appropriate time to look at some of the METARs down there. So this is for Tampa down here. So you can see I rolled my little cursor over the top of it. In this case it's red. That means it's IFR. So obviously what's going on down there, we don't really want to be flying down there in the hurricane. But it'll roll over this and you can see all the different winds here. All right, one of the things to note that I really like about this page is like I said, on the last graphic we had green little dots that shows VFR. The blue dots here means it's marginal VFR, and then the red dots means it's IFR. All right, so I can see right away kind of what kind of conditions I'd be getting into. The other thing I like is all these little red, so you get the wind barbs here again, but the red actually indicates that it's a gust. So if you see the winds out of here, all right, so we've got a little pennant. The pennant means that it's 50 knots. All right. And then you've got a little black barb right underneath there. Hopefully you guys can see that. So that's 55 knots. And then you've got a little half barb and then a full barb and then a half barb. So it's gusting pretty good up there. So you've got, what was that, 55 knots gusting to, what's that? Let's see, so that'd be 60, 70, 75. So 55 knots gusting to 75 knots right on that little barb right in there. So that's some pretty good winds. You can see some of these up here. Here's 20 knots gusting to 40 up there. Yeah, all kinds of different stuff. I can see this right away and just know that it's some nasty crap going on down there. All right, the next page here I like. This is from 1-800-WXBrief.com. All right, and one of the things I like about this is you can do an area brief and it'll give you all the same type of stuff that Aviation Weathergov gave you, but it gives you this little graphic over here as well. So it actually puts in some radar, so you can, in this case you can actually see the thunder or the hurricane as it's coming around. It gives you the same type of dots. Usually the reds in here are IFR, and it's got some pinks up here, kind of like a purplish color is usually your marginal VFR, and then you got greens and blues as well. All right, but one of the things I really like about this is if we let me see if I can advance this. There you go. So here's Tampa. All right, so let's look at this one here. All right, so some kind of cool stuff in here. So here's Tampa on the 11th day of September. 0253 Zulu. It's an automated source. Winds are 360 at 36, gusting to 46. 2 statute miles. Heavy rain, mist, broken at 1200, overcast at 1800. Temperatures 24, dew points 23. Altimeter is 2897 with the remarks. Here again, automated source type 2, which means it has a precipitation discriminator. And then it's got the peak winds, 360 at 53 at 0233. So just about 20 minutes before this report was taken. And then it's got a bunch of this other stuff out here, right? So sometimes it's kind of hard to understand what they've got. Some of it's not necessarily meant for pilots. Some of it's for weather forecasters and observers and stuff like that. But if you really wanted to know what this is, this website actually has a pretty good little feature. If you go up here in the top left, you can see it says plain text. So if I click that, what's going to happen is it's actually going to decode it all for me. So all those that did have the shorthand text now has the full up text. So obviously everything that I read to you before is still in there, remarks, all that kind of stuff. But now let's get down here. All right, here's your remarks, automated source type 2, precipitation discriminator, peak winds, 360 at 53 knots, 0233 Zulu. All right, so now it's getting into the part that was kind of hard to decipher, right? So pressure falling rapidly, sea level pressure at 1080.9 hectopascals, 0.57 inch of precipitation in the past hour, 1.74 inches precipitation in the past 3 hours. The hourly temp is 23.9 degrees Celsius, dew point is 22.83 degrees Celsius. 3-hour atmospheric pressure steady or increasing, then decreasing, or decreasing, then decreasing more rapidly by 10.8 hectopascals. All right, and then you got the little dollar sign in there, which just means that there's some kind of maintenance that needs to be done to that station. Well, no kidding, they got a hurricane going in there, so I'm betting there's probably something that needs to be fixed on that. But what like I said, the nice thing I like about this website is it does give you the chance to decipher what some of those remarks are. In this case, some kind of interesting information to know, especially with down there for all of us that like to fly and like weather. Might be something to kind of go look at and just kind of look around and figure out what some of these METARs mean. Alright, so what did we cover today? So we talked about aviation routine weather reports, or METARs. So this is the beginning of the weather services section. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below and we'll try and get back to you. If you think of anything that would benefit this course, please don't hesitate to leave that as well. Alright, we'll see you in the next section.